Kyle Shanahan talked about Bryce Huff on Tuesday. Trent Williams talked about Bryce Huff on Tuesday. So I am going to talk about Bryce Huff today. We're going to talk about what the 49ers are getting in Bryce Huff, what to expect, and some of the quotes that Shanahan and Williams talked about. So in 10 plays, here is Bryce Huff. As you can see, we're going to use the Eagles. We're not going to cherry pick and go back to the Robert Saleh days. Like, explain what the Eagles use or how the Eagles use Bryce Huff. So let's get right into it. Okay, so it's 3rd and 11. Here's Bryce Huff, edge rusher, top of the screen. Shanahan said that Huff has the fastest get off of any edge rusher the 49ers have had since a guy named Dee Ford. So obviously, and I was actually just watching some of Dee Ford from yesteryear, and he was insane. Get off was insane. As you can see right here, that's the same with Huff. He crosses the face and wins instantly against the right tackle. That is what the 49ers need. That is not what the 49ers have had. They had, so Yetur Gross-Matos, an inside rusher, right? An edge rusher who does better when he kicks inside. That was a lot of the same, whether it was Charles Omenihu, Arden Key, Samson Ebukam. I wouldn't call him a burner, but like there's nobody who is winning like that. The Eagles did not really run a lot of wide nine last year. Guess who was second in the NFL in wide nine snaps? Nick Bosa. So that is what the 49ers do, and that has always been what the 49ers have done, whether it was Nick Sorensen, Steve Wilks, Robert Saleh, D'Amico Ryans. Like, this is who they are. So Huff makes a lot of sense, and as you can see, instant win, right? 1, 2, crosses his face, because you have to respect that speed coming off the edge. Right tackle oversets. Huff embarrasses him. Okay, so here's Huff against the run to the bottom of the screen. He's going to box the puller and really doesn't box him. And by box, I mean forcing the running back to go back inside. But with this wide nine alignment, Huff is able to use his athleticism. He ducks inside the blocker, so still does his job because the running back has nowhere to go. And there's another example against Tampa Bay, but why I want to use this example is just because, look, the wide nine, so like when he's out this wide, he can win with speed, you know that, but he can also build up some momentum, and you see some aggression. I'm going to show a better example here, but he's not, I don't want to say he's not as bad against the run, because it's clearly that's why Vic Fangio wasn't comfortable using him. I think the Eagles asked their edge rushers to drop back in coverage more than Saleh would ever do, so like there's something to that. Still, when it comes to boxing pullers, I thought Huff was very good at that. A couple weeks before, much better example. Here's Huff actually boxing the puller, right? Not winning with athleticism, but doing his job. So you're going to get, I believe, left guard pull, and his job, when I say box, just make the running back cut upfield. He not only does that, but he makes a tackle. So that is how you play the run in a wide nine. We're going to see it from the end zone angle. Here we go. So Huff right here squeezes too. Like, that is violence. That is force. That is what Saleh will love. So he could easily just wait, right? So ball snapped. He could just wait here. Instead, he eliminates the space, meets the pulling blocker at the point of attack, gives him a little shove. And that's what you want. I like that quite a bit. Much better than the Giants example. But again, he's not going to be asked to do what Nick Bosa does against the run, right? He's not going to be double teamed. That's all you have to do. Take on the block, make a play. Well done. Okay, so Trent Williams called Huff a speed demon off the edge. He said other teams are going to need to use chip, running back, tight ends, to slow him down off the edge on this very play last year. This is exactly what happens. He gets chipped right there from the running back. Does not matter. Still comes flat for a sack. 49ers did not have this last year. And again, like I don't know why people are skipping over the Eagles. I know he did not play the number of snaps that he was expected to and had kind of a disappointing year based on the contract. But this is a running back. He's going to chip Bryce Huff, wide nine. Chip is able to still keep his hands clean. Like I really like that. So watch how he continually uses his hands. That way the offensive lineman doesn't get a real shot at him. He's able to come flat too, so he's not taking a bunch of steps and basically cheating, I would say. Let's see how many steps it takes to get around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's good. He's there. So the chip plays right into what Trent Williams was talking about, and you see the production there. Sack. If you chip Bryce Huff, there's going to be like this is Josh Sweat, this is Nick Bosa with the 49ers. So you leave him one-on-one, good luck. So I think it's kind of speaking into exactly what Trent Williams is talking about here. Okay, we got Huff top of the screen here. Who's responsible for this sack? They're blitzing. Ideally, that's Fred Warner next year. For whatever reason, Nick Sorensen did not blitz Warner. That's a whole other video. Anyway, speed demon off the edge. Little hezzy. Uses his hands. Quarterback steps up. Right into the face of the running back. So, again, it's not just speed he's winning with. He does a really good job once he's in the vicinity of the lineman. Doesn't get his hands on. So, there's a good feel, I guess, is how you describe it, for when to use your hands, the timing to use your hands. I think Huff showed that quite a bit in some of these rushes. And it's such a step up from what the 49ers had rushing the passer last year opposite Bosa. And I want to show you that right now. Okay, this is based on wide nine only. So last year, Bryce Huff took 89 snaps in the wide nine with Philly. Leonard Floyd, 166 with the 49ers. Gus Matos, Sam O. These are all wide nine snaps. The number of pressures they had, the pressure percentage they had. WAR is wins above replacement, popular baseball stat. Courtesy of Sports Info Solutions, by the way, who also has some advanced metrics like points saved, the number of points that they're responsible for saving. For example, that sack that I just showed you where Huff didn't make the play, but he made the play, right? That is calculated in points saved, points above replacement, these two stats for Sports Info Solutions. So that's why I like referencing those. As you can see, across the board, win percentage, so one-on-one, this is based on PFF's win percentage, how often they're winning, compared to everybody else, he is head and shoulders better than whoever the 49ers had rushing the passer opposite of Nick Bosa on the field with Nick Bosa. So you have Huff as the wide nine. You have Bosa. Now you have Mykel Williams. You have Alfred Collins. I think it's pretty evident that Huff, just based on the few clips that we've shown, based on these numbers right here, how much of a difference he's going to make. And I think he's really going to have an impact on Mykel Williams. So Mykel's going to be able to rush from the inside because of the speed demon off the edge, because he's going to make the quarterback step up in the pocket. So I think these numbers really paint a picture. Pressure percentages really stands out, head and shoulders above. So we're going from, 32 to I think he's 27. That makes a big difference. Win percentage, almost double of what Floyd was. He played a lot. Not obviously played more in the wide nine, but just a better fit, a better scheme fit. And we have evidence that Huff can play in the wide nine, not just last year, but of course with the Jets. So just wanted to show you this. So I'm not just making stuff up. I'm not cherry picking back to the Jets. He was clearly better from the wide nine. So all right, let's get back to the film. Okay, so I like showing plays, as you know by now, where here he is, the top of the screen. They don't always make the play, but they get in the quarterback's face. So this is 3rd and 1, right? Think about what an offense wants to do on 3rd and 1, how quickly they want to get rid of the ball. Joe Burrow, he's in the face of Burrow on 3rd and 1 in the quick game just by bending the edge and coming flat. To me, that is a promising rush. And again, I don't assume that this counts as a pressure or quarterback sack, quarterback pressure, quarterback hit, whatever you want to call it. So top of the screen or to our right. How quickly does he? 1, 2, 3, and he's already cleared. This is a win if you're counting that win percentage, right? In my mind, as soon as you clear the hips of the lineman, that's a win, and he's there right away. 3rd and 1. So again, doesn't get the stat, but this is what we will see, hopefully over the next few years. But you get to see Huff and the speed that he's going to bring, the speed element that they really have been lacking since Ford. Easy turn to the edge, gets there. So one of the things that I'm expecting Salah to get back to that Sorensen and Wilkes really didn't do much of is the games that they allowed their D linemen to run a bunch. So here, that was Huff at the bottom of the screen. He has a sack. This is a sack 9 out of 10 times. Doesn't finish, but here he is, wide nine again. So using his athleticism, allowing him to build that acceleration, build that speed. So he runs a little game here with Jalen Carter, comes free. I think he does a good job of staying tight, gets upfield. Boom, has a quarterback in his grasp and just doesn't finish. So, again, there are opportunities. There were opportunities for Huff to make plays. I've shown them. Here's another example. We're going to see a lot of this. Ideally, that's Mykel Williams or Collins next year doing their job, freeing Huff up. And he's going to finish that, again, like I said, 9 out of 10 times. 3rd and 9, we have Huff, top of the screen, wide 9 situation. On the play before this, he won to the outside, so he's setting it up, right? And on this play, you're going to see him take some hard steps to the outside, getting the right tackle to open up. And as soon as he does that, see the little stab, inside stab, mini hump move, call it whatever you want to, but it was a sack fumble. It was a game-changing play, I assume. So we'll see it from the end zone angle. Huff will be wide 9 off to our right against right tackle. And these are the matchups that you want to win, right? So if they're going to put a tight end on Nick Bosa, this is what the 49ers lacked last year. And this is what they're bringing and paying Huff to do, is to just win his one-on-one matchups, right? And he does so with relative ease there. You can see how terrified the right tackle was of Huff's speed. So when that happens, when they open up like that, and now he has a two-way go, and when you have this kind of space, this person, Mykel Williams, will be able to win his one-on-one battles too. So I think the domino effect of Huff is going to go a long way in the 49ers defense returning to how they looked under D'Amico and Saleh. And this play is a good example of why. Okay, 3rd and 7, bottom of the screen. Huff, again, he's been beating this right tackle to the outside. He's already set him up and beating back to the inside here. Inside spin. And this is where those numbers where I was talking about points saved, points above replacement. That's what factors in on these kind of plays. So you get credit for making the quarterback leave the pocket. Speaking of the quarterback, look who that is. Old friend alert. Okay. Huff, wide 9. Again, right tackle thinks, okay, I have to get to my spot. If I don't get to my spot, he is going to embarrass me again. And what happens when you overset, when you try to beat him, now it's all right, like the play is already over, right? Spins. Lance leaves the pocket. Lance, throw the ball away, Trey. Throw it away, Trey. Throw it away, Trey. Doesn't. Man. Okay, but anyway, Huff, right? Like, how many times did we see an edge rusher not named Nick Bosa use that kind of spin last year? I think Samo maybe once or twice. Leonard Floyd obviously slowing down, so that really wasn't his game. Gross Matos feels like he was never on the field. He had some empty calories when it comes to sacks and production, but that was as efficient and clean of a spin as you can get from that position right there. So, again, more examples of Huff doing what the 49ers are going to want him to do. Very good play. Trey, throw it. Okay, bottom of the screen here, Huff against the tight end. There are going to be plays, and this is how you stay on the field. There are going to be plays where the offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan, defensive end, you have to make them pay every time they do that. Here he is. Huff, just going to walk the tight end down, squeeze, lock him out, make a run stop. Again, very simple, right? Nothing extraordinary. But those are the plays that you have to win. And those are the plays, from what I saw, Huff did win. Okay, last one. Bryce Huff, bottom of the screen here. This is actually a touch. We're focused on Huff, and I think Huff showed over the course, as you saw from the numbers that I showed, especially compared to Floyd, Gross Matos, Samo, he's an upgrade. And some of these plays, like, they're not flashy, but paired next to a first-round pick, paired next to a second-round pick, paired next to Nick Bosa, he is going to shine. And I think it's important to understand Vic Fangio dropped his edge rushers in coverage a lot more than you would expect. Vic Fangio had a first-rounder in Nolan Smith that he had to get on the field. Vic Fangio had Brandon Graham. They had Josh Sweat, of course. So, like, there was a reason he didn't play. Those players are not those players are not on the 49ers. So there's nobody really holding Huff back. And there's a reason that I think Saleh's confident. And he was probably an easy sell to go get for the 49ers to go get him. So that's my takeaway from Bryce Huff. And I think after Shanahan saying, hey, this is has the fastest get off, Trent Williams saying, hey, they're going to need to chip him. I thought holding up against the run, as I said. And I think we're going to see a lot of that with the 49ers. So that's all I have on Bryce Huff. I'm trying to get this Mykel Williams video out. I have a bunch of film on him, but copyright, people are being YouTube. I'll just say that. So I might have to just stick with some other videos I have coming down the pike. Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey are a couple guys. But thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe if this is your first video of mine that you are checking out. All right, that's all I have for Bryce Huff. So please subscribe if this is your first video of mine that you're checking out. Like this video, please. It helps with the algorithm. Comment. I'm going to try to just dump a bunch of videos, right? Just random 49ers content on the website, Niners Nation. I'm going through basically everybody on the roster over the next couple of months. I'm going to try to do videos. I think Renardo Green is going to be the next one that I drop. So he's going to be the guy who's going to take place of Charvarius Ward. He has a big role. So just stay tuned. Check out this channel, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. Thanks again for watching, everybody.